What's up, guys? Another service call we're going on today. This one is no cool out of business. So let's get started and see what's going on. See what's going on with this thing. I kicked both thermostats on. It's not running yet, so I'm gonna give it a few minutes and see if this thing kicks on. Alright, system just kicked on. So they're saying that it is cooling, just not cooling well. So you know what that probably sounds like. I have a feeling it's going to be refrigerant related. Newer coil, 2017. Now let's go find the outdoor and see what the pressures look like. Suction looks a little low, but it's got a good subcoolant. Subcoolant's what you're looking for on this one. It's the TXV. Should be around 12 or 13. Man, that looks good. Let's get a delta T reading and see how it looks. Alright, so yeah, this something's not right with it. 11.2 on the delta T, not great at all. It's a mild, very mild morning, and that suction pressure just looks funny. It shouldn't be that low with a good subcooling. So something else is going on. So my first thing I'm going to check is the blower, because it does look like it's not getting enough air across that coil. That would definitely mess up the suction pressure, and it could even inflate the subcooling to look like it's where it should be. But where that suction line pressure is, doesn't look great, and the delta T should definitely be closer to 20 right now. I mean, it's like 73 or 74 this morning. So let's go back up and take a look upstairs again. Alright, back up at the unit. Let's get these doors off. Looks like the blower is on high already. Let's check that run capacitor, make sure it's not weak and not letting the fan ramp like it should. 29.6160. Of course, it's not going to have no writing or anything on it. If you look real close right there, you can see the 40 on the MFD. Let's get this thing swapped out. Between 26 and 29 is what it's reading, calling for a 40. So we'll see if that helps this blower out some. So this run cap's going to be a little big for this band, so we're going to have to make us a new band real quick. Alright, I had to go grab my metal strap, and of course I didn't have it. Just one thing though, I hate when you put them in a box and leave them in the bottom. Is, you know, take an extra 2 or 3 minutes and make a strap for it and put it back like it should. It's just so much better that way. Alright, I'm going to cut this strap and then get this new one put on. Alright. And that is a huge run capacitor for this blower. Alright. Get these doors on. And then kick it on. And then let's see if that made a difference or not. I'm sort of on the fence if it's really going to make a big difference, but you never know. It was fairly weak to be 40, so here goes nothing. Alright, so let's talk about this for a second. Pressure looks a tad better, so it could have been a small factor, but it's not the real problem. So going over this, your first instinct would be automatically add refrigerant. And normally when you got the correct subcooling, and a low suction, your head looks fine, your suction looks low. There's usually another reason besides low refrigerant. Like it could be dirty filter, stopped up evaporator coil, airflow, even can go to a slightly clogged TXV or something, the TXV isn't working correctly. So the subcooling is measuring the refrigerant going to the condenser. So that looks correct. The superheat tells you how much refrigerant is getting to the evaporator coil. A high superheat means that there's not enough refrigerant getting there. And then vice versa, low superheat means there's too much. So I've looked at everything. Everything seems to be working fine with the blower. The filter isn't dirty enough to cause problems. So we're going to do a little test. So if you add refrigerant and your superheat does not change, then you got a problem with the TXV. Okay, so if we add this refrigerant, and it could very possibly just need some refrigerant, but there's another reason why this superheat or the subcooling is showing that it's good and it's got a low suction. So let's give that a shot. We'll add just a little refrigerant, see if it pulls down that superheat. If the superheat changes, then it's if the superheat does not change with adding refrigerant, then this TXV is going to have a problem. So let's give that a shot. All right, so on our chart for superheat, it should be, it's 77 outside. It should be 10.9 superheat. So we do have a high superheat, which is, you know, makes sense when you have a low suction. So we're going to add a little refrigerant. Let's see where that 26, 25.9 goes, okay? And like I was saying, if the subcooling goes up and the superheat stays the same, there's a problem with this TXV. So I added about 4 ounces, not really a difference. It's still trying to climb back up to almost 30, I mean 26. So I'm gonna add about 3 or 4 more ounces and we'll check it then. The delta T hasn't changed, so let's put a little more in and then we can come up with our conclusion. I'll let it run for about 10 minutes or so, and I'll start filming again. And I'm gonna add a little more refrigerant and see how this thing looks. Alright, we're well over a pound now added. Let this thing run, see where it ends up. Alright, 15 minutes. Suction line still at 110. I've added 1 pound 6 ounces to this system. Subcooling's definitely increased. Superheat is just not increasing enough. I'm leaning more and more towards the TXV. Another thing you can do when diagnosing the TXV is you can take this bulb, take it off, put it in some ice water, and watch the pressure, see how they regulate. And there you go. Delta T has actually even gotten worse. But superheat is climbing again. Suction went up just a hair, but and see, every little bit of refrigerant I put in, the subcooling climbs. Subcooling climbs, superheat barely moves. So that's a good bit of refrigerant to put in and it not really make a difference. Our Delta T is still horrible. It's even looking worse. So I'm gonna recommend a TXV on this one. Get this TXV swapped out and see how big of a difference it is. Hopefully I'll be the one to come back and do that. So we'll do a video on that. With this suction line and the superheat not moving really, I mean it has moved some. I think it was 25 point something when we first started adding refrigerant, but from how the subcooling moved to how the superheat has, and it being 1.5 pounds of refrigerant put in, it should be a big difference. Our Delta T should change. Our superheat should be much lower already. So we're gonna go with the TXV on this one. All right, guys. So we're getting that TXV under warranty ordered. So the more I think about it, the more confident I am. It's the TXV. TXVs can be so weird, and you can have so many different ways a TXV looks bad. You know, the obvious one is the super high head pressure and then the suction dropping like a rock. That's the most obvious one, but there is other instances like this one where it's working, but it's not working properly. There's a difference in that, and then the TXV going completely bad. So this is a case of the TXV is working, but it's not working like it should. So we're going to get that ordered, and there'll definitely be a follow-up video when we replace that TXV. I would really like to get that one on video. So we'll probably be back middle of the week to put this TXV in, and I'll definitely let y'all tag along. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something. If anyone has any comments they think that might have been a better idea to do, or what you think the situation or the problem was, if you don't agree that it was a TXV, send me a comment, let me know. But guys, I really appreciate all the views and the likes and subscriptions. It means a lot to me. The channel's definitely growing, and I appreciate that. So there'll be some more videos to come, and this next one with a TXV replacement will be a really good one. So hope y'all enjoyed and learned something, and we'll see you next time.